All right. Okay, we're doing it. Yeah, we're doing it. All right, so today, because we've been on a little bit of a break, today we're going to hit the High Priestess. Number 2 in the Major Arcana. This is our third card, right? For those just joining us, the reason this is the third card, but it's number 2, is because we started with number 0, the Fool. So we went through the Fool. We learned about the Fool. Then we learned about the Magician. Brief off the top of my head nonsense, because I am not doing video essays. If you guys want video essays, you let me know. I'll actually do a whole video essay and spend some time on this. Right now, we're just doing right off the top of my head. Okay, so today we're talking about the Priestess. Who is the Priestess, or the High Priestess, right? So the Priestess is a counterpart to the Magician, a female counterpart, but she's also a counterpart to the Hierophant. So in her role, she's actually taking up 2 positions. One, she's taking up the female mystery, or the intuitive aspects of magic, and the other one, she's also taking on the esoteric, not the exoteric, the esoteric aspects of religion. So she's 2 things. She's the feminine aspect of magic, and she's also the feminine aspect of religion. Now, as you can see on the left, it's the left, right? We have the classic Rider-Waite deck, okay? And here she is in her glory. What she has a like a lunar crown thing going on with horns, indicative of Hathor, of the Egyptian mythos. She's also considered the Oracle of Delphi. It's the same sort of position and role, right? So what she is she can see past the veil, past the veil of the dream realm or the spirit realm. She has access to that. All right, and the job of the Hierophant is to actually explain what the hell she's talking about. And as we can see from the figure, she stands between 2 pillars, right? She's seated on a throne, so she's actually in a place of prominence, right? She holds in her hand the law, the Torah, which is a permutation of the tarot. It's tarot, rota, Torah, and it just keeps going, because you put a T at the end of tarot, but that T is also the beginning of the word. So it's the same T, but on the end, and it's supposed to signify a wheel, and how the tarot is a wheel, which we went over on the Fool card. So she's in a place of prominence. As you can see, there's a veil behind her between the 2 pillars. This is because it has to do with she is the veil. She is the point where matter and spirituality are mingling together. So she can actually look past the veil. As you can see, she's standing between 2 pillars, one with a J, one with a B. Now, these words are part of the Masonic mystery, but you have the pillars of Jachin and Boaz, right? So this in Kabbalah, these are the pillars of mercy, Jachin, the white one, and the pillar of Boaz, on her right or left or something, on our left, right? So you have the pillar of severity, pillar of mercy. So Jachin is mercy and Boaz is severity, right? So she's at a point between mercy and severity. She's like a Bene Gesserit witch. And this is funny because this is the whole idea of the Bene Gesserit witches are actually based off the Priestess and the female mysteries and such. So there's that association there, right? Her planetary association is with the moon. As you can see down here, she's standing on the moon, which is not unlike the Virgin Mary. Now, there's so many striking similarities with these images that I'm kind of just chalking up the Virgin Mary to be a projection of the High Priestess in a Catholic sort of framework. Because as we all know through our occultic studies, if you have done them, that the Catholics, they're not really Christians, they're pagans with a Christian facade on. They're the remnants of the Roman Empire that has basically cut to the CLM movement. Christian lives matter. Don't throw us to the lions. Alright, so Virgin Mary, as you can see, she stands upon the crescent moon. You see the High Priestess. She stands upon the crescent moon. This has to do with their mastery over the dream realm, mastery over illusions, being able to walk over the illusions and to surpass the false world. There are several writings about how the moon is sort of a trap for spirituality. It's basically like this is sort of, there's a dream realm around the real realm that prevents people from going too high up into the mysteries. And so this has to do with her ability to walk on it, walk on top of it, walk hard, right? So that's the Virgin Mary, right? So that's the association with the moon. It has to do with everything lunar, everything to do with cycles, the lunar cycles, menstruation and the female mystery of that. This is what the High Priestess controls. So her job is to talk to the fucking spirits and the gods and the different entities out there, translate that into words, right? And then the Hierophant would go through and basically explain what the High Priestess had to say. All right. In the center here, we have the Thoth deck. Thoth deck is really cool. Really complex, but really cool. This was my starter deck, and I don't recommend it because it's not easily transferable to a normal understanding of tarot, mostly because it's very thelemic. And thelema's like, nah, blood and gore and stuff. Like, no, that's a part of it. That's a part of it. Right? So there was this point where most things got whitewashed, but thelema's like, nah, sex and blood, right? So it's a little bit harder to understand with the symbolism, but once you get it, you get it. And as you can see, she's got the same sort of lunar Hathor crown going on. Same thing with this one. Kind of got it. And if you actually notice that those are actually she's kind of crowned with the symbol of Wiccan. So the Wiccanism is it's got like the moon in its different phases. Okay. And if we can look at the center one right here, because the Thoth deck, because this is like, it's like the coolest card, right? There's got to be like a cooler one out there, but I haven't found it. Maybe I'm going to have to make it. Okay, if we look at the bottom of the card, we can see the 5 plutonic solids. Maybe just 4 of them. I'm sure there's a cube in there somewhere, but I'm not seeing it. So basically we have the plutonic solids down at the bottom with a little camel. Right? Okay. So the camel has to do with its Hebrew letter associations, and its Hebrew letter associations are gamel. Now gamel has 2 meanings. One means camel, one means rope. So this is a little Bible story, right? So when they say like, oh, you can get what was it, Jesus said like, oh, it's easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than it is for a rich man to get into heaven. But here's the thing, is that the eye of the needle is actually the name of the tiny little door inside a set of big doors. You know, like, you ever seen a big door and there's a tiny little door that's like inside the big door? Well, that actually has a name in the Middle East. It's called the eye of the needle. Now, you can shove a camel through the eye of the needle, but the thing is about that is you have to take all the shit off the camel before you can get the camel through the eye of the needle. It's kind of a little bit of a joke. So when it's like, oh, well, for a rich man to get into heaven, they gotta lose all their shit, right? 'Cause it's easier. You know, it's easier to get a camel through. It also means rope. And so some of the original Golden Dawn associations with this card, well, the path working is that it's the rope that connects Kether to Tippereth, or it connects the crown to beauty. Sort of makes sense with the female principle about it, right? But I prefer the Fratera Chad version. We can go over that in a different video to be a little bit more precise on it. Again, I encourage everyone to do their own goddamn research, right? This is supplemental and mostly to get my rocks off because I just want to talk about it. Alright, we can see in her hand, or like at her waist, she's still sitting on a throne. But at her waist, there's a bow that's also a harp, right? And so this also has to do with their associations with the goddess Artemis, the hunt, again, the female mystery, virginity, female power, Bene Gesserit witchery. This is the High Priestess. She's mysterious, she's unapproachable, but also the most desirable thing. And if I was making a tarot deck, I would definitely put the Bene Gesserit, like put a Reverend Mother as the High Priestess, right? So yeah, this has to do with the intuition and the expression of the intuition in the spirit realm and its influences. So this sort of card is a retrospect or an introspective card, signifying you have to like look at your intuition. You have to follow the intuition and what it's telling you. So whenever this card pops up, it has to do with the intuition. Also, here's another thing. I'm gonna let you guys in on a lot of Hollywood magic, is that they put these tarot cards into movies. They're very subtle, and they're not trying to spell it out for you because they're trying to access your subconscious through symbolism. And this is what this card actually represents. The subconscious being accessed. So if you're conscious of them trying to access your subconscious, it won't affect you. Tools against the uninitiated, Tools against the uninitiated. But now you're initiated. You're initiated in the magic of the High Priestess. And hopefully Hollywood things won't get to you anymore. So here she is. She is the Veil. She is the Oracle of Delphi. She's that hot chick with all the fucking wisdom. She is the Sophia. She is the Reverend Mother. That's what's going on. She represents the intuitive female magic principles and the access to the spirit realm. So that's the High Priestess. All right, that's what I can get off the top of my head. I'm not getting any sort of inspiration for anything else, so I'm just going to, I guess, end it here. So like, stare, subscribe if you can or want to or something. Show that weirdo friend who's into this kind of shit. If you would, it'd really help. Trying to kind of get off the ground here, and I will see you around.